The decrypted messages that Lauren Boebert revealed hit the House chamber like a nuclear bomb. Adam Schiff's secret communications with Chinese agents detailed exactly how he leaked CIA operations and which specific secrets he had sold to enemy nations. Those messages even contained the exact amounts of money Schiff received for each betrayal of American national security. What happened in the next 240 seconds would expose the largest treason scandal in congressional history and prove that Adam Schiff had been operating as a foreign agent while serving on the House Intelligence Committee, selling America's most sensitive secrets to our greatest enemies. Before we dive into this explosive confrontation that's about to shatter everything you thought you knew about congressional oversight and national security, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. You're about to witness the complete destruction of one of Congress's most powerful members, using his own encrypted communications, admitting to treason against the United States. The packed House Intelligence Committee hearing room crackled with electric tension on this cold November morning, the kind of charged atmosphere that precedes a seismic political earthquake. What was supposed to be a classified briefing on foreign intelligence threats was about to become the most devastating treason exposure in American political history. Sitting at the witness table, 37-year-old Congresswoman Lauren Boebert from Colorado had come armed with evidence that would destroy one of the most powerful figures in Congress and expose a foreign intelligence operation that had been running at the highest levels of American government for over 8 years. Her midnight blue blazer was perfectly tailored, her demeanor controlled and methodical, but those who knew her recognized the look in her eyes, the same steely determination of a counterintelligence officer who had just uncovered the most damaging enemy agent in American government history. Lauren Boebert had spent 26 months conducting what would become the most comprehensive investigation of congressional treason ever undertaken by a sitting member of Congress. Working with NSA whistleblowers, former CIA operatives, and cybersecurity experts from the military intelligence community, she had assembled evidence that would prove how America's national security had been systematically compromised by one of its most trusted guardians. Her team had obtained encrypted communications that had been decrypted by military intelligence, financial records from Chinese and Iranian banks, NSA surveillance data showing foreign intelligence contacts, and testimony from intelligence officers who had watched their operations fail due to systematic leaks. What they had uncovered was an espionage operation that operated at the highest levels of congressional oversight for nearly a decade. Across the committee room sat Congressman Adam Schiff, 63 years old and radiating the kind of supreme confidence that comes from believing your crimes are protected by political power and intelligence community connections. His expensive charcoal suit was perfectly tailored, his silver hair styled with television-ready precision, and his demeanor suggested a man who thought himself completely untouchable due to his position as ranking member of the Intelligence Committee. Schiff represented the ultimate Washington insider, a career politician who had spent over 2 decades building relationships throughout the intelligence community while positioning himself as one of Congress's most trusted voices on national security matters. From his perch on the Intelligence Committee, he had access to America's most sensitive secrets and the power to shape public understanding of intelligence operations. But behind the carefully crafted image of a national security guardian lay a much darker truth. For over 8 years, Adam Schiff had been operating as a foreign intelligence agent, systematically selling America's most sensitive secrets to Chinese and Iranian intelligence services while using his position to protect enemy operations and eliminate threats to his foreign handlers. He had survived multiple security investigations, deflected suspicion through political maneuvering, and silenced potential whistleblowers through a combination of committee power and intelligence community connections. He thought his treasonous activities were protected by layers of classification and buried beneath the complexity of foreign intelligence operations. He was about to learn that digital communications leave permanent traces, even when encrypted. This confrontation was the culmination of one of the most extensive counterintelligence investigations ever conducted outside official government channels. Lauren Boebert had begun questioning patterns in intelligence failures 26 months earlier, when multiple CIA operations in China and Iran had been systematically compromised, resulting in the deaths of American assets and the collapse of critical intelligence networks. Her staff had started by analyzing public statements made by Intelligence Committee members after classified briefings, looking for correlations between congressional access to sensitive information and subsequent foreign intelligence successes against American operations. They noticed that intelligence failures consistently followed committee meetings where specific operational details had been discussed. But the real breakthrough came when an NSA cryptographer reached out to Boebert's office with evidence that encrypted communications from a sitting congressman had been intercepted and decrypted by military intelligence units monitoring foreign espionage activities. This cryptographer, whose identity would remain protected, provided access to decrypted communications, financial intelligence, and surveillance data that revealed an active foreign intelligence operation centered on Congress. What followed was a painstaking process of reconstructing an espionage network that spanned multiple countries, intelligence services, and financial systems. Boebert's team had to verify encrypted communications through multiple technical sources, trace money through international banking systems designed to hide espionage payments, and piece together evidence from intelligence sources who were still operating under deep cover. They discovered that Schiff had been recruited as a Chinese intelligence asset in 2015, shortly after joining the Intelligence Committee, and had subsequently expanded his espionage activities to include Iranian intelligence services. His handler network included operatives from the Ministry of State Security, China, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Iran, and several subsidiary intelligence organizations that coordinated the systematic theft of American secrets. Most shocking of all, they found evidence that Schiff had deliberately shaped Intelligence Committee investigations to protect foreign operations, eliminate threats to his handler networks, and provide his foreign contacts with advance warning of American counterintelligence activities. Congressional oversight of intelligence operations had been systematically corrupted to serve enemy interests. During his tenure on the House Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff had perfected a system for monetizing American national security secrets that operated like a sophisticated intelligence service while appearing to function as legitimate congressional oversight. His operation relied on his official access to classified information combined with encrypted communications networks that enabled secure transfer of secrets to foreign intelligence services. The espionage scheme worked through a carefully structured system of intelligence transfers that coincided with legitimate committee activities. Schiff would attend classified briefings on CIA operations, NSA surveillance programs, and military intelligence activities, then systematically transfer the most sensitive information to his foreign handlers through encrypted communication channels that appeared to be routine political coordination. The transferred information included operational details that enabled foreign services to identify and eliminate American intelligence assets, technical specifications that allowed enemies to develop countermeasures against American surveillance systems, and strategic intelligence that gave adversaries advance warning of American military and diplomatic actions. Payment for the intelligence was structured through a complex international network that made espionage payments appear to be legitimate political donations, speaking fees, and investment returns. Chinese and Iranian intelligence services had created an entire financial ecosystem designed to compensate their congressional asset while maintaining plausible deniability. The most damaging aspect of Schiff's operation was how he used his position as ranking member to shape committee investigations in ways that protected foreign intelligence operations while eliminating threats to his espionage network. Congressional oversight designed to protect American interests was systematically perverted to serve enemy objectives. The House Intelligence Committee hearing had been scheduled as a classified briefing on emerging foreign intelligence threats, with particular focus on Chinese and Iranian espionage activities targeting American government officials. Schiff had enthusiastically supported the briefing, confident that his position as ranking member would allow him to control the narrative while gathering new intelligence to sell to his foreign handlers. He had no idea that Lauren Boebert had specifically requested to participate in this classified session because she knew it would provide the perfect forum to expose his treason in front of committee members who had security clearances sufficient to understand the full scope of his crimes. while Schiff prepared to use the briefing to gather new intelligence for his foreign contacts. Boebert was preparing to present the most comprehensive case of congressional treason ever documented in American political history. The committee room was configured for classified discussions, with enhanced security measures and communication restrictions that would prevent outside interference with the proceedings. Committee members and staff with appropriate clearances filled the secure facility, expecting to receive routine intelligence updates about foreign threats to American interests. None of them were prepared for what they were about to witness: the complete exposure of a foreign intelligence operation that had operated at the heart of congressional intelligence oversight for nearly a decade, accomplished through the presentation of Schiff's own encrypted communications with enemy intelligence services. The hearing began with routine intelligence community briefings about foreign espionage activities targeting American government officials. CIA and NSA representatives presented classified assessments about Chinese and Iranian intelligence operations, with particular emphasis on recruitment techniques used to compromise American officials with access to sensitive information. Schiff participated actively in the questioning, demonstrating his expertise on intelligence matters while positioning himself as a vigilant guardian of American secrets. His questions were sophisticated and well-informed, exactly what committee members expected from someone with his experience and access to classified information. Congressman Schiff, Boebert began when her questioning period arrived, her voice carrying the authority of someone who held explosive classified evidence. You've served on this committee for over 8 years and have had access to some of our nation's most sensitive intelligence. Can you describe the measures you take to protect classified information from foreign intelligence services? Schiff's response was a masterful display of intelligence expertise, delivered with the authority of someone who had spent years building credibility on national security issues. Congresswoman, protecting classified information is the most fundamental responsibility of Intelligence Committee service. I follow all security protocols, limit discussions of sensitive matters to appropriate channels, and remain constantly vigilant against foreign intelligence recruitment attempts. The answer sounded professional and security conscious, exactly what committee members expected to hear from their ranking member. But Boebert had spent months preparing for this moment, and she knew that behind Schiff's security expertise lay a treasonous conspiracy that would shock the intelligence community. She reached into her classified briefing materials with calculated precision, retrieving a folder marked with NSA and CIA classification seals and placing it deliberately on the secure table, where every committee member could see it. The gesture seemed routine for a classified briefing, but experienced intelligence observers immediately sensed that something unprecedented was about to unfold. Congressman Schiff, Boebert said, her voice taking on the analytical tone of a counterintelligence officer presenting case evidence, I'd like to examine some communications that might help illustrate how foreign intelligence services actually operate against members of this committee. I have here decrypted communications obtained through NSA foreign intelligence surveillance that reveal an active espionage operation targeting congressional oversight. The committee room's classified display screens flickered to life, showing encrypted communications that had been decrypted by NSA cryptographers. The messages appeared to be routine political coordination, but the decryption keys and metadata revealed their true nature as intelligence communications between a congressional source and foreign handlers. These are encrypted communications intercepted by NSA surveillance of known Chinese intelligence operatives, Boebert announced, her voice carrying across the now silent committee room with the authority of a counterintelligence briefing officer. The communications were decrypted by military cryptographers and authenticated through multiple technical means. Schiff's confident expression began to shift as he realized what he was looking at. His face remained controlled, but committee members noticed a slight tremor in his hands and a defensive tension in his posture that suggested someone recognizing evidence of their own crimes. The sender of these messages is identified through voice print analysis, digital fingerprinting, and behavioral pattern recognition, Boebert continued, building suspense before delivering the devastating revelation. NSA counterintelligence has confirmed that the congressional source in these communications is you, Congressman Schiff. She clicked to the first decrypted message, and the screen displayed communications that would end Schiff's career and potentially send him to federal prison. Message dated March 15, 2023, from Congressional source to Chinese handler. Committee received CIA briefing on Operation Dragonwind. Asset locations in Shanghai and Beijing compromised. Recommend immediate extraction protocols. Payment of $2.3 million, confirmed in account ending 7749. The committee room erupted in shocked silence as the implication sank in. Committee members stared at the screen in disbelief, realizing they were witnessing evidence of active treason by their colleague. Schiff tried to maintain composure, but his voice betrayed the panic of someone whose deepest secrets had been exposed. These communications are clearly fabricated by hostile intelligence services attempting to discredit American oversight of their operations. Fabricated by hostile services? Boebert interrupted, her voice cutting through Schiff's desperate deflection like a counterintelligence scalpel. Congressman, these communications were intercepted from Chinese MSS communication networks and decrypted by NSA. The authentication includes your biometric data, communication patterns, and financial verification. She advanced to the next screen, displaying more devastating evidence. Message dated June 8, 2023. NSA surveillance program Stellar Wind targeting Iranian networks. Technical specifications attached. Operation timeline suggests activation in 72 hours. Usual payment terms acceptable for this level of intelligence. The systematic nature of the espionage was becoming clear. This message was sent 3 days before Iran successfully neutralized Stellar Wind surveillance through targeted cyberattacks that used the exact technical vulnerabilities you provided. 17 NSA assets were compromised, and $500 million in surveillance infrastructure was destroyed. Boebert clicked through message after message. Here's intelligence on CIA operations in Tehran. Here's NSA technical data on surveillance satellites. Here's operational security information that enabled foreign services to identify and eliminate American assets. Every piece of intelligence this committee received was systematically transferred to enemy services. The evidence was overwhelming. Over 8 years, you sold intelligence that resulted in the deaths of 47 American assets, the compromise of 23 major intelligence operations, and the theft of technical secrets worth over $15 billion. You didn't just commit treason, Congressman. You operated as an enemy intelligence service from inside our most sensitive oversight committee. But the Chinese intelligence operation was only part of Schiff's treasonous activities. Boebert had also uncovered his communications with Iranian intelligence services. Your espionage activities weren't limited to China, Congressman. These decrypted communications show that you also operated as an asset for Iranian intelligence services. The screen displayed encrypted messages between Schiff and Iranian handlers. Message to IRGC contact dated September 22, 2023. Committee reviewing intelligence on Iranian nuclear program. Current estimates show weapons capability within 18 months. Israeli strike options being discussed. Payment verification needed for continued access. Schiff's face had gone pale as his Iranian espionage activities were exposed. This intelligence enabled Iran to accelerate their nuclear program while developing countermeasures against potential Israeli military action. Your treason provided our enemies with strategic intelligence that threatens American allies and global stability. The Iranian connection revealed the scope of Schiff's betrayal. Communications show payments totaling $31 million from Iranian sources for intelligence on nuclear inspections, military planning, and diplomatic negotiations. You sold information that enabled Iran to evade sanctions, accelerate weapons development, and prepare for military confrontation. Boebert then presented financial evidence that proved the espionage payments. The communications reference specific payment amounts that we've traced through international banking systems designed to hide espionage funding. The screen displayed banking records from Chinese and Iranian financial institutions. This wire transfer from Bank of China to a Cyprus account controlled by shell companies linked to your family shows $2.3 million payment corresponding to the Dragonwind intelligence sale. Here's $4.7 million from Iranian banks, following the nuclear program intelligence transfer. The financial evidence was comprehensive. Over 8 years, you received $73 million in espionage payments through 15 different shell companies, 8 offshore accounts, and 23 separate financial instruments designed to hide foreign intelligence funding. Every payment corresponds to specific intelligence sales documented in your encrypted communications. She displayed a timeline connecting intelligence transfers to payments. March 15th, CIA Operations Intelligence sold. $2.3 million received. June 8th, NSA technical data sold for $0.7 million received. September 22nd, Iranian nuclear intelligence sold. $6.1 million received. The correlation between intelligence sales and payments is perfect. Boebert had saved the most damaging evidence for last, recorded phone conversations that captured Schiff discussing his espionage activities. Congressman, we also have recorded phone calls where you discuss your intelligence sales with your foreign handlers and domestic accomplices. The first recording began playing in the secure committee room, and Schiff's voice filled the space discussing treason with shocking casualness. The Intelligence Committee access is invaluable to our friends. Every briefing provides material worth millions, and the oversight role gives me advance warning of any threats to our operations. A voice with a slight Chinese accent responded. Payment schedules have been adjusted to reflect increased value of congressional intelligence. Technical specifications are particularly valuable for countermeasure development. Schiff understood. The beauty of the committee position is that oversight activities provide perfect cover for intelligence gathering. Nobody questions my access to sensitive information because protecting it is supposedly my job. The conversation continued with devastating revelations. The Iranian connection has been especially profitable. Nuclear program intelligence commands premium prices, and their payment methods are more secure than Chinese transfers. But the most devastating part of Boebert's presentation focused on the human cost of Schiff's treason. While you were collecting millions from enemy intelligence services, Congressman, American agents were dying because of the secrets you sold. The screen showed classified memorial information for intelligence officers killed due to Schiff's leaks. Agent Jennifer Walsh, CIA operative in Shanghai, was executed by Chinese security services after your intelligence sale exposed her cover identity. Agent Robert Martinez, NSA technical specialist in Tehran, was captured and tortured because you sold the operational details that revealed his mission. Schiff's face was ashen as the human cost of his crimes was displayed. Agent Sarah Chun, military intelligence officer in Beijing, was assassinated after your communications enabled Chinese counterintelligence to identify her network. These agents died because you sold their lives for money. The personal impact was devastating. 17 intelligence officers were killed, 23 were captured and tortured, and 47 were forced to abandon deep cover operations built over decades. Each death can be traced directly to intelligence you sold to enemy services. Perhaps most shocking was evidence that Schiff had corrupted congressional oversight itself to serve foreign interests. Your treason wasn't limited to selling secrets, Congressman. You used your position to shape Intelligence Committee investigations in ways that protected enemy operations and eliminated threats to your espionage network. Boebert presented evidence of corrupted oversight. These communications show how you influenced committee decisions to protect Chinese and Iranian intelligence operations. Investigation topics were chosen to avoid exposing your handlers. Briefings were structured to maximize intelligence gathering opportunities, and oversight activities were designed to serve foreign interests rather than American security. The systematic corruption was documented. You blocked investigations into Chinese espionage operations that might have exposed your handler network. You redirected oversight away from Iranian nuclear activities that your contacts wanted protected. You used congressional resources to serve enemy intelligence services while claiming to protect American interests. Schiff made one final desperate attempt to deny the evidence. These allegations are clearly fabricated by foreign disinformation campaigns designed to undermine congressional oversight. Foreign disinformation? Boebert's voice cut through the pathetic denial like a counterintelligence sword. Congressman, These communications were intercepted by NSA, decrypted by military cryptographers, and authenticated through biometric analysis. Your own voice admits to selling American secrets for $73 million, while American agents died from your betrayals. She looked directly at committee members for her final statement. Every person with security clearance in this room needs to understand what we've exposed today. The ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee has been operating as a foreign intelligence agent for 8 years, selling America's most sensitive secrets while using congressional oversight to serve enemy interests. The final blow was comprehensive and devastating. Adam Schiff, you didn't just commit treason. You perverted congressional oversight into a foreign intelligence operation. You sold secrets that got American agents killed, operations that protected our enemies, and intelligence that threatened our allies. Your espionage ends today. As security officers moved to secure the classified materials and committee members sat in stunned silence, one thing was absolutely clear. Boebert had just exposed the most damaging congressional traitor in American history using his own encrypted communications with enemy intelligence services. The fearless woman from Colorado had proven that even the most sophisticated espionage operations leave digital traces that can be uncovered when someone has the courage and expertise to follow the evidence wherever it leads.